welcome to Tarmac. I'm Dave.
I'm Matthew, and today we're with something that belongs in a modern art gallery, really, because, and frankly, it's neither of us, it's this, the new Hyundai Tucson.
That's right. We may not be in Arizona, but the sun is shining and we are going to take it for a good spin and hopefully not go through any deserts. Come along with us. The Tucson is an incredibly important vehicle for Hyundai, and basically New Zealand have embraced it as such by bringing in 11 models. They've got 11 models up for grabs. It's now in its 4th generation and they've done a lot to it, both in design and also technically. So it's now smarter and, in my opinion, much better looking. We take a look around. The bonnet now comes out, extends out to meet the wings out here, so very good from there. And it's also got this inverted sort of power dome here, sort of an anti-power dome, but we'll get to that later. The cascading grille, this has got a lovely finish to it, and also comes with these parametric DRLs. I think there's 1, 2, 3 that are illuminated. Hopefully we'll be able to show you those at night. And also these lights down here, when you're cornering, will actually show you the way at night. Very cool. So basically your view at night, fabulous. Round the side, at 4.5 meters long and almost 1.67 meters tall, it's actually a few mils larger than its previous models. So there's actually more room for both interior and exterior. So certainly the cabin, the people inside will feel the benefit of it. Looking further down, the striking amount of design that goes into it. Look at these really sharp lines, front and rear, and it's kind of got this sort of parabolic sort of look in the middle. It's quite funky actually. 19-inch feet with plenty of rubber on them, and also look at this trim. It's got this sort of go faster trim that sort of looks like it's in motion. There's always sort of little bits here and there that's going through, and also some chrome accents down the back here. It's very nice. Looking down the rear, the wiper blade is actually hidden under here, so it certainly doesn't get into any mischief down there, and also a nice extended roofline spoiler. The H is now integrated into this back window here. More of these parametric lights. Look at this, and this light goes all the way across, so a nice dominant light beam across the whole area. Again, we'll see if we can show you that at night. And looking further down, some dual exhaust tips that actually do work. And in here, 598 litres of boot space that actually extends out to 1,799. So tons of space to throw in whatever you want, any cats, dogs, any passing equipment, and also, of course, all your shopping. Let's take a look under the bonnet. Like I said, the Tucson comes with either petrol, diesel, hybrid, so a variety of powertrains. And in the petrol, there's a 2-litre, or this one is a 1.6-litre turbo. This is a SmartStream engine strapped to a 7-speed gearbox, but together it gives you 135 kilowatts and 235 newton meters, which is actually, it's okay. Speaking of things that are underpowered, Matthew's inside and he'll show you what's going on inside there.
Well, if you are feeling underpowered on a day like today, there's some good news for you, because there's plenty of stuff in here to keep you cool and to help you recharge. So if the sun's getting too much, such as today, you can just shut it out thanks to this dual panoramic sunroof up here. Really nice touch. Both the front seats are both heated and ventilated, though you might prefer the ventilated system on a day like today. The rear seats are heated, another nice touch. The steering wheel as well, also heated, so just the amount of the equipment in here is just amazing. Everything, of course, covered in leather, all the seats, the top of the doors, the top of the dashboard there, all soft to touch, and there's plenty more soft stuff down the middle there, and even down the bottom. The scratchy plastics are not actually that scratchy, so really nice. There's plenty of tech and stuff to keep you busy on the inside here. So firstly, the cluster over here controls the air conditioning, and I mean, just the functionality there's too much to go through, honestly. You've got some wireless charging for your phone down here and another space for your phone there. Over here, well, this controls all the more in-depth functionalities of the car. So you have the heated and cooled seats, you have the heated steering wheel. There is hill descent control, believe it or not. Auto start stop. You can even use the 4-wheel drive locking system here, and adjust the drive modes as well. So plenty going on down the middle here. now let's jump into the touchscreen there and see what's new with this 2021 Tucson. Now the infotainment system is Hyundai's new unit, of course, which has been updated for this latest model. So swipe through and you get this really nice dark blue kind of electronic color to it. Has a really nice layout and is very simple to use. You've got integrated navigation, phone connectivity, of course, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay to be expected. You also have the ability to save voice memos on here, which is really cool. And of course, the little thing we love, sounds of nature. Always a bit of fun to trick your passengers. It's quick to use, nice and easy. And if you find that it's too much to deal with this and touch around the buttons, you have shortcuts on the steering wheel. Speaking of which, let's take a look at that. Now ahead of you here, you've got this digital dashboard. So on the left you get your speedometer, on the right the rev counter, and then in the middle you can adjust whatever you like to see. So right now I've got a digital speedometer, but you can flick through and see the navigation on the trip information or your general efficiency. Plenty going on here. It tells you the temperature, and on the bottom there's a little blue bar that keeps fluctuating according to how efficient you're driving. Let's say that our blue bar hasn't been all that low so far, but we'll work on that. Funnily enough, this particular Tucson, or the New Zealand market Tucsons, are made in the Czech Republic. So something that's unique here is the indicators on the left side, just like a European car, and the wipers are on the right side. There's a fun fact for you. The steering wheel itself has almost a twin spoke biplane kind of design to it. And on the left you have the buttons here that control the audio and your phone basically. And on the right side you have the buttons that control the digital dashboard in front of you. So plenty to play around with. And then once you've got bored with the buttons, take a look at those paddle shifts on the back, because this of course has a 7-speed dual clutch gearbox. Well, there's plenty of stuff to play around with here in the middle, but this car's quite good on the road, so I think the right thing to do is take it for a test drive. So the new Hyundai Tucson, more has changed than just the looks, frankly. It's, new through and through, and even in the driving feel, it's just a new car altogether. I don't know, there's no other word to describe it.
Yeah, I agree. I've been in actually all 4 generations now, and it gets better and better. Had the iX35 for a while as they were trying to go global, but they've returned back to the Tucson a couple of generations ago and really haven't looked back. This is better, stronger, bigger, and certainly more elegant.
And I've got to say smarter, a lot smarter.
Yeah, we've gone through the smarter things before. For me, I really like the way it holds the road. I think the suspension is really improved.
From a nerdy perspective, it does have 235 width tires, which are really nice to grip the road, and especially for these windy New Zealand roads like we're on today. And the suspension is soft, and on the jarring stuff, the speed breakers, it doesn't really, unsettle you at all. It's a really comfortable drive.
Actually, it's funny that you almost went over the white line there, because the safety suite in here is massive as well. Really, Hyundai have thrown everything at it. Everything from lane keep assist to blind spot assist and blind spot alert. It's really just got everything thrown at it.
And I can feel the car telling me I'm a bad driver every time I go around the corner too close to the line.
I tell you that as well. Digital everywhere as well. Really like the screens are nice, clean to look at, and also the digital dash or digital instrument clusters really clean as well.
The whole interior, it might be, to some it might seem like a lot of money for a Tucson, but when you look at the equipment that you get in here, it's really punching far above its weight. I mean, both of us have, heated and cooled seats, the sunroof, the rear heated seats, the leather, and the Carell audio system. So apparently Carell is a really high-end audio company based out of America. We've never heard of it before, but they're pretty good.
But it's spacious as well. The extra few millimeters means that even if you're carrying extra passengers around the back, oh, there he is. So pops up. There's plenty of room for them. It really, the half a kid that's there is awesome. You can get the 5 people if they're sort of short, like me, just not wide. Speed-wise or power, possibly lacking, I think, is probably what we'd say there.
I think this 1.6 turbo engine, even though it's not, that underpowered, this is quite a heavy car, and it does struggle a bit until you get to about 2,000 revs when the turbo kicks in. Then you have some power, but apart from that, it does feel a bit weak trying to accelerate. Though, on saying that, when you're at the motorway cruising speeds, it's a really comfortable drive. You just set cruise control and away you go.
Yeah, it definitely has more than its fair share of turbo lag, I'd say, off the line, and also just there's plenty of play in that accelerator. Unless you put it in sport mode, which is good, then it's sort of, there's less of it really. The other thing is that this one's the all-wheel drive all the time, and so if you are going to take it to parks like we have, you don't have to worry about going onto the grass. You'll get off them.
And the gravel stuff, it's quite fun to drive on that. There's a little bit of slip in the wheels, which is always fun. And it's just a controlled slip, so you're never feeling scared when driving this. You're always in control, and the car does jump in to help you out here and there.
You only feel scared depending on who's driving.
Very scared driver there, or passenger rather.
But even in this is a 15 kilometer an hour turn, and we're doing 35 to 40 k's round it, and it's very flat. So that N3 suspension, chassis, is really quite rigid.
And I think that also comes from the fact that the New Zealand spec Tucsons are made in Europe, so there's something to be said there where it sits better on the road, it corners better, and of course some of the equipment does feel nicer.
Agreed. So there you have it, the new 4th generation Tucson. Bigger, smarter, and actually much better looking. So plenty of trim and plenty of smarts, unlike us two.
With those jagged lines and the lights on the front and back, it's almost something that belongs in one of those modern art museums. It just sort of looks like that. And it feels like something from the space age, not at all from a museum on the inside.
And I've never used the word parametric so much in my life. I had to look it up. Speaking of dumber. Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. We just enjoy having you along for the ride. And put some comments in. Tell us how wonderful we are. Cheers.
See you next time.
Bye.